you've been in a lot of big churches, okay?
Yeah.
And you've actually been in more of the major churches in the United States than almost any Christian has been, and in a shorter amount of time.
I'm a lucky man.
And so sometimes good things happen to bad people,
Yeah.
you know? So how did that impact you?
I thought, wow, they sure have gone in a very different direction than the stuff I read in the Bible.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to sound too preachy there.
Right.
But I really think that it didn't, you know, I mean, when we went to a certain church that shall remain nameless in Texas in the former Compaq Center, you know, I saw it on TV before I went, you know, and I saw the sermon. I'm like, oh, isn't the sermon, what a nice sermon, you know, what a nice positive message. When we got there, we got that nice positive message, but it was bookended by like, give us your tithes.
And that
money.
colored our response, because we're actually there in the church service. Other people just watch it on TV.
I enjoyed it much more on TV than I did in person.
Exactly, same here.
Yeah, even though it was impressive to walk in there like, whoa.
It was impressive.
But you know, I mean,
what was with the fog machines?
I don't understand.
No, what was it with it? What do you think fog machines were doing in church?
It's just spectacle.
Yeah, and what's that about? Does that really make you go like, wow?
No, not me. One thing that I remember we totally agreed on is, why don't people talk to us? You know?
Oh, yeah, right.
Why does nobody talk to us? I mean, to me, if I was like...
Like when you go into a church, you mean, like you're sitting there,
Yeah, they greet you on your way in and then go, Steve, go ahead, you know? And,
right.
And I'm, you know, I'm possibly a seeker. I'm the guy you've been waiting for, you know?
Well, I mean, the deal that happened that was so interesting is that we went into a situation anonymously and didn't try and modify it in any way. We just observed it.
Like a restaurant reviewer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we went in and to find out, well, how will people behave if they don't know we're here, you know? And it turns out...
Like we're not there.
Exactly. It turns out, and consistently, right? I mean, so out of like 10 or 12 churches, there were 2 churches where we were approached by somebody just spontaneously. And as a, you know, as an outsider, quote unquote, that they're trying to reach, one would assume, of course, that they would have been much more intentional about that, but they weren't.
No, if it was my church and I was maybe it's the problem too with the mega churches that you obviously at Osteen's church where there's 16,000 seats, you're not gonna go, oh, that guy wasn't here last week, you know. So maybe it's just impossible at those ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is what I think. I think they lost their sense of community. I don't think they see themselves as creating a community so much as I don't know what it is they see themselves doing, but I would say that the main focus of a church is to create a community.
Well, I mean, by what you observe, what do you think the main focus has become? I mean,
build the church bigger.
Okay, build the church bigger, get more people in there, right? And then, I mean, I think that even Christians would go like, yeah, that's not far from the truth.
What kind of goal is that, though?
Well, I don't know, because then what happens is those same churches try and talk about community. Do you think it's possible that those churches can actually foster a sense of community in some of those really big churches?
Well, one thing I would, if I could go do it all over again, I'd check out some of their small groups, because they do promote those small groups. Maybe something different happens there.